Good News Devotional today is partly from a devotional book that we've been reading at home by Paul Tripp called New Morning Mercies. And we read this devotional a couple weeks ago, and I'd like to share a little bit from it with you. And the tagline at the top of the page reads, "Your life is not good because it is easy or predictable, but because the I Am has invaded your existence by His grace." Let me say that again. Your life is not good because it is easy or predictable, but because the I Am has invaded your existence by His grace. I want to read you a familiar little passage story in the Bible from Mark chapter 6. And it's about the disciples caught in the storm on the Sea of Galilee. Mark chapter 6, starting at verse 45. And this is right after Jesus has fed the 5,000. So verse 45, immediately after this, Jesus insisted that his disciples get back into the boat and head across the lake to Bethsaida. And while he sent the people home. After telling everyone goodbye, he went up into the hill by himself to pray. Late that night, the disciples were in their boat in the middle of the lake, and Jesus was alone on land. He saw that they were in serious trouble, rowing hard and struggling against the wind and the waves. About 3 o'clock in the morning, Jesus came toward them, walking on the water. He intended to go past them, but when they saw him walking on the water, they cried out in terror, thinking he was a ghost. They were terrified when they saw him, but Jesus spoke to them at once. "Don't be afraid," he said. "Take courage, I am here." Then he climbed into the boat, and the wind stopped, and they were totally amazed. So the disciples were caught in this crazy storm after Jesus told them to cross over to the other side. So here they are in this situation that seems impossible, exhausting, frustrating, and potentially dangerous. Does that sound at all familiar for any of us? A situation that seems impossible, exhausting, frustrating, and maybe even seriously dangerous? Well, they are far beyond their strength and ability. So why would Jesus have asked his disciples to be out in this storm? Jesus sees his disciples in the situation, calling out for help, and so he walks out to them. If Jesus wanted to just end this difficult situation for his friends, he could have just prayed from the shore for the storm to stop, and it would have. No, he chose to walk out into the storm across the lake so he could be with his disciples in that storm, and that his disciples could be with him in that moment. I love how Tripp explains this, and he asks this question. He says, why did Jesus send his disciples into the storm? He did it for the same reason he sometimes sends you and me into the storms, because Jesus knows that sometimes we need the storm in order to be able to see the glory. For the believer, peace is not to be found in the ease of life. Real peace is only ever found in the presence, the power, and the grace of the Savior, the King, the Lamb, the I Am. That peace is yours, even when the storms of life take you beyond your natural ability, wisdom, and strength. The good news, friends, and as followers of Jesus, Jesus is with you. He is with you, he is for you, and he is your hope. This is good news.